Hello, everybody. Good morning. I hope everybody is happy and safe today. And today is Tuesday, June 2nd, 2020. This is my morning message for you. So I've been reading and contemplating and chanting the Metta Sutra or the Metta Sutra, which is the Loving Kindness Sutra, which can be found in the Sutta Nipata, one of the Buddhist texts. In it says, "May all beings be happy. May they live in safety and joy." It goes on to say, "Let no one deceive another or despise any being in any state. Let none by anger or hatred wish harm to one another." So, the Buddha, he wanted us to be happy and he wanted us to be safe. His whole ministry was to reduce suffering in this lifetime. So he wanted us to be filled with happiness and joy, and he wanted us to become safe. So I want to go on to the Dhammapada, which is a Buddhist text, another Buddhist text, and it says, "Use your body for doing good, not for harm. Train it to follow the Dharma," which is the teachings. It says, "Use your tongue for doing good, not harm. Train it to speak kindly. Use your mind for doing good, not harm. Train your mind in love. The wise are disciplined in body, speech, and mind. They are well controlled indeed." So let's go back to verse 231 that I began quoting. It said, "Use your body for doing good, not for harm." Okay. We're not supposed to be harming one another physically or abusively by language. It tells us, it goes on to say, "Use your tongue for doing good, not for harm. Train it to speak kindly." So we need to be kind to one another and have right speech. So it says, "Use your mind for doing good, not for harm. Train your mind in love." So in a minute I'm going to go on to what the Bible defines as love, because I think it's a great definition of what love is. But verse 234 says, "The wise are disciplined in body, speech, and mind. They are well controlled indeed." So let's go on to 1 Corinthians chapter 13, where it defines love. It says, "Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast. It is not proud, it is not rude, it is not self-seeking." Some translations it says selfish. "It is not easily angered. It keeps no records of wrong. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails." So are you patient? Are you kind? Are you envious? Do you boast? It says, "It is not rude, it is not proud, it is not selfish, and it is not easily angered." So, it goes on to say, and in verse 13, it says, and now these three remain, faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. And in Matthew, Matthew 22, verses 37 through 40, it says, thou shalt love thy Lord, thy God, with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. And these two commandments hang all law and the prophets. So are you loving your neighbor, your Muslim neighbor, your homosexual neighbor, your redneck neighbor, your liberal neighbor? I could go on and on. You know, your black neighbor, your Hispanic neighbor. It doesn't really matter what your neighbor is defined as. We're supposed to love one another. So, in Luke chapter 6, verse 27, Jesus says, but I tell you who hear me, love your enemies, do good those that hurt you, and bless those that curse you. Pray for those who mistreat you. So, you know, that's a hard thing to do, but it's something to strive for, you know. And I want to go on back to Psalms. In Psalm 7, verses 14 through 16, it says, he who is pregnant with evil and conceives trouble gives birth to disillusionment. He who digs a hole and scoops it out falls into the pit he has made. The trouble he causes recoils on himself. His violence comes down on his own head. So it doesn't say karma, but that's karma defined in the Bible. Here's a Buddhist quote for you that I'd like to read. It says, holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burnt. So our own anger is what hurts us. So we must forgive and love one another. And in Surah 7, the spoils of war from the Quran, it says, hold to forgiveness. Command what is right, but turn away from the ignorant. Hold to forgiveness. That means to always forgive. So, I want to leave you with this. May there be love. May there be peace. May there be kindness. May there be harmony, unity, forgiveness, love, compassion, and empathy. But of all these things, may there be love. Amen.